They say that we have reached a turning point in history. When you look at the media and the recent headlines, there's been a really big emphasis on the LGBTQ RSTUVWXYZ community. Now, at first, you're inclined to see the things that are happening and you want to demean the community because there's so much negativity attached to them, and there's so much retardation being perpetuated by them. But then you have to remember, just because there's a lot of stupidity in the group doesn't mean that everything that everyone involved is saying is invalid. Of course, there's a lot of retardation. There's people who just want views. There's people who don't know what they're talking about. All of the above. And those people will constantly be there to take away from the message that the group has. It happens in every single group. For example, this is a really clear one. Black Lives Matter being led by a bunch of lesbian white women. What is that even supposed to mean? Like, that's just a very clear-cut example. But that's not what we're referring to. Today we're talking about the homosexual community. So in Nazi Germany, Hitler targeted the youth because he knew those were the ones that would bring about change. Now it's a trope that if you want some type of reform, that you should target the youth. Makes sense. Here's what I've come to notice. There's the government, and then you have the people. Now, the people have never had the power to sway the people as much as the government does, because the government controls information. You would say that you believe it is the homosexual community that is tainting the youth, that is putting out these absurd ideas and retardation. You would say it was the LGBTQ community. But in reality, I've come to realize that it's actually the government that's perpetuating these ideas. Now, of course, it's a mixture of both. But the emphasis on the government's inclusion, I think that needs to be brought up. You see, the things like that, the pride parades where they were telling you to bring your children to drag shows, bring your children to pride. That was primarily the government's doing. When you ask drag queens what they think of that, a lot of them will straight up tell you that's a stupid idea and that they think that's kind of disgusting and despicable. Why? Because why are you sexualizing children? Why do you need children to come and experience adult men dressing up as women? It's that straight up and simple. It's like, why would they even want children to participate in that? That's like, could you imagine if a straight person was like, you don't even have to imagine it. If a dad brings his son to the strip club, one, he's probably not going to get in. But let's just say, for example, famous people. Like when we see like adult women like dancing on a young boy, constantly calling it out, constantly saying, this is despicable, this is disgusting, that is a child, and that is an adult. he should not be included in this debauchery. That's how straight people react most of the time when they see a child in a place that has promiscuous people. Because a lot of us, believe it or not, are still adamant that children need not be sexualized. And even in the LGBTQ community, the very people you were saying bring them to these people's shows, they come on the news and they're saying, no, don't do that, that's disgusting. So where is the idea that you should coming from? Honestly, there's a lot of theories and a lot of people putting out their ideas. Some people are approaching from the government trying to dumb you down and taint you, and some people are approaching the business. I have no clue. I genuinely cannot tell you. I won't even pretend to know, but I won't pretend that I'm not seeing what's happening. Look at the Don't Say Gay bill. That's a clear order in Florida, because there's an idea that they're trying to indoctrinate the youth. That bill served a purpose, but then you see in the classrooms the teachers continue to perpetuate this LGBTQ safe space inclusion stuff. There's people now who are saying that by the time you turn 4, you understand your gender identity. It doesn't make sense. Why are teachers, who are practically government officials, I understand that they're very detached from a chain of command, but they still serve the government, they serve the school board, the education system. They are government officials in the sense that they're the vessel that is teaching the youth. They're still perpetuating the nonsense. Like, reading to 4-year-olds, turning your reading time into, let me explain my sexuality and hope that you children can understand time. You see it all the time on TikTok, all the time on YouTube. Why is it that there's a drive towards indoctrinating the youth? And I don't mean indoctrinating in the sense of making it acceptable. There's like a genuine pull to try and almost like convert children into gender fluid homosexuals. I don't understand. It's really strange, and honestly it's kind of sad, because that's like you're genuinely taking advantage of children. I didn't ever find a genuine drive by straight people to counter this, or even to turn children straight. I feel as if topics like about romance and sexuality, that should not be put in front of children, because look at how impressionable a child is. Go take them to watch How to Train Your Fucking Dragon, and I swear they'll be entranced by being a dragon trainer. It's like there's a genuine push to taint the youth. And this would have never worked in a different time. So what is it about today's day and age? I feel as if it's a distraction. You genuinely are gonna be trying to fight your own family. They say that they're trying to break up the dynamic heteronormative family structure, but that's not what I'm saying that they're trying to break down. I feel like genuinely relying on each other and just having intelligent thought processes and being based, once they start allowing people's feelings to guide reality, that's when problems start to occur. You can't talk to these people because they feel like you're attacking them. It's a really easy cop-out to pretend that you're in the right if you just pretend that everyone who opposes you is your enemy. It's just an extremely easy cop-out so that you can stay in your own little bubble. The reality of the situation is there's a domino effect, and a lot of people are starting to pick up on it. Those of you who are controlling, those of you who have power, you're gonna start seeing them leave their positions so that they aren't held accountable and so that they aren't the ones that are being torn down, because people are getting angry and people are taking notice. You got people like Sneeko who are approaching it in a very ill manner, but they are still being loud and redundant. They're adamant that we can come together and we can create a better quality of life for everyone. At least a better one than this facade of a government is trying to provide for us. Peace out. I hope you guys don't think I'm a bigot. Honestly, I just want to say one more thing. As a black person, I used to think to myself, why did the civil rights movement really end? Was it truly like the assassination of figureheads? Was it because we gained equality? And then I got to realizing, I feel as if there was a drive or a push to legitimately stop it. I feel as if the sounds, the movement, they ended because you got distracted. But if the government is backing your distractions, then I guess you won't see them as distractions. You'll see them as what's important. The world is, I can't even tell you. How am I supposed to determine the natural order or the natural route that humanity takes? I can't determine that. It's up to all of us. But in coming times, we're about to see some big shifts. Some really big shifts. So much so that your right to free speech may be infringed on. You thought you had the right to abortion? Huh. They took that away from women, and look how mad and angry women are. Let me ask you men. Of course you don't care about the abortion argument. But if you were told that you had you no longer had free speech? Would you be marching in the streets outraged? At what point does something affect you enough for you to take action and try to bring about change? Peace out.